Petronas leader's jersey here on the radio too. Now, penny for the words of Joris Delbow there. I don't know who he's talking to, whether it's backwards talk or forwards talk to the teammates he has in front of him. He's being followed there by Clément Heleno, the Frenchman, alongside him. Now, two countrymen there, but riding for different teams, right alongside each other, with Joris Delbow with the opportunity to bring this one home. But I will remind you, Joris Delbow is only 3 seconds down on Anders Johannesson, who is sitting on the wheel of as well. Anders Johannesson and Uno X Mobility with a great opportunity to see if they can get the win. There are 10, 6 and 4 seconds available on the line. And just to forewarn you, we've seen it this week, Anders Johannesson is actually a very good fast finishing sprinter, particularly from smaller groups. Honestly, I'm going to say this, do not rule out, if this comes back, do not rule out Anders Johannesson winning or getting at least 6 or 4 of the seconds. I can see it happening. The problem is he'll have the XDS Astana team to deal with, and Aaron Gate specifically. And I'm just looking to see who the Astana rider is that's trying to come across here. I mean, it could be Gate again. If it is, this is a really dangerous late move. What a fantastic ride by Gil Jimeno. This is now the final, let's call it the final 200 meters. Coming across to Gil Jimeno is, I think, let's have a look as they come up behind them. It's one of the Tudor Pro cycling riders, and it is Aivaras Mikutis, the Lithuanian road race champion. And let's have a look. Is this Aaron Gate coming through? It looks like the form of Aaron Gate as well. It's definitely Mikutis, because I can see his Lithuanian champions jersey, the Tudor rider, and they hook up with Gil Jimeno. So 3 in the lead. I'm surprised there's so much hesitation behind. This is the final 1400 meters of this final stage of the Petronas Tour de Langkawi. Mikutis has come across that gap brilliantly, and I think he is in the company of Aaron Gate. Looking at the front, it's none of the Vinokurov brothers, it's not Anton Kuzmin, it's not Lev Gonov, it has to be Aaron Gate that's with him, and that is a real danger man. We've already seen Aaron Gate on the attack in this race. Definitely the fastest finisher of these three. I'll remind you that Matteo Malucelli has won 3 stages of this race already. He is no longer in the race, having crashed out a couple of days ago. This is the lead of the race, and they are coming towards the final kilometre marker here as well. No great danger in the general classification amongst these three, because despite everyone talking up Aaron Gate as a GC threat earlier in the week, he dropped a little bit, not miles away, but he dropped away from it on Fraser's Hill as well. This is the group behind who are now watching each other for general classification, but if it carries on like this, they are racing for 4th place as well. Looking at the front, Aaron Gate has now rolled through himself. He needs to be careful here. The other two will sit on him, and they are doing exactly that because they know how quick Gate is here. The Kiwi should win this sprint of 3 every day of the week, but the problem is he's got 2 to work over, and for them to work him over, Aivaras Mikutis has now gone. Mikutis driving, and it's going to come down to Gate to try and close this, and if Gate does close it, he's got to start his sprint straight away, I suspect. What has he got left, the Kiwi? We cut back to the front. It's Aivaras Mikutis, the Lithuanian road race champion, the 23-year-old who leads. He's desperately trying to stay clear of Aaron Gate, but here comes Gate. They passed and dropped now. Gil Jimeno, here comes Aaron Gate. Can Gate do it? I don't know if he's got enough time to catch Mikutis. Aivaras Mikutis is going to lead round this final bend into the last 200 metres, and now goes Aaron Gate. We've been watching him all week expecting this to happen, and it's going to happen on the final stage. Aaron Gate, the teammate of Matteo Malucelli, gets the final stage in the Petronas Tour de Langkawi, and what a way to do it, crossing across to the man we've just seen coming third there, Gil Jimeno, taking with him at the same time the Lithuanian road race champion Aivaras Mikutis, but Mikutis could not do anything about it, and in the end now we're watching the next of the Uno X riders coming in. There's the sprint, and there is the orange jersey of Erland Blikra coming in. Wow. Well, at the beginning of the week, people were talking up the Kiwi Aaron Gate here to be the overall winner of this race. And in the end, it was the climb of Fraser's Hill that was just that little bit too much. Whether that was tactical or physical, I guess we might hear at the end of this race when we hear an interview with Aaron Gate. But that was a hard-fought victory, I tell you. What a brilliant ride by Aivaras Mikutis, the Lithuanian road race champion for Tudor Pro Cycling, because he really made Aaron Gate work for that one. And now we will have groups coming in again and again and again, more and more of them. What a ride by Equipo Kel Farmer today, but they haven't, sadly for them, been able to turn it in for a win, despite having the distinct numerical advantage in there. I'm actually looking forward to confirming the top 10 for you, because we never, because of the way things unfolded over those last two climbs and the descent, the run into Kuala Lumpur, we never actually got on top of exactly who was in there either. Don't you worry, we will do that. What a brilliant week of racing, and exactly the kind of finale into Kuala Lumpur that I think the race organisers would have wanted as well. I would suggest, possibly, in next year's 30th edition of the Petronas Tour de Langkawi, we keep that finale for the final stage. It makes sense to be finishing in the capital. But also, those two final climbs and the descent down from the lookout point there, I think, are a really, really good finale as well. Aaron Gate getting the win after all that. Only just, though, it has to be said, isn't it? What a ride by Avoris Mikutis. Aaron Gate, by the way, he was the best place of those three. Started the day 1 minute 37 down on GC. And there were plenty of people talking him up earlier in the week as the one of the favourites for general classification this week. But of course, that's a team that's had split purposes right the way through this week, hasn't it? With those fantastic three-stage wins for Matteo Malucelli before he crashed out of the race. It has been a race where we've lost some of the big